Yeah. Very good afternoon to all of you. And as you know that today we are celebrating the World Meteorology Day. And World Meteorology Day essentially means that all our measurements are unified across the world. When we say that measurements are unified means what? It means that if you talk about a meter, if you talk about a kilogram, if you talk about a second, if you talk about a mole, if you talk about Kelvin, if you talk about a candela, so the SI unit is same across the world. Now, when we do experiments in our daily life, and we call it, for example, the room temperature, and conventionally, the room temperature is 25 degrees Celsius, but in India, the temperature can vary if you do not have the air condition. It can go from very low temperature in winters in north of India and to very high temperature in places like Rajasthan and so on and so forth. So when we do our experiments, the RT need to be corrected. It means that when we are doing experiments at, and as you know that most of the physical properties, they depend upon your temperature condition. Similarly, when we do many of our engineering projects, when we want to develop a prototype, we should ensure that the measurement is perfect. Now, there are two things when we talk about measurement. One is the accuracy, another is the precision. Accuracy means how close you are to the true value. Now, how to find out what is equal to the true value? As you know that the fundamental SI units are 7, which I have already explained to you. Now, if you want to measure a property, the equipment should be calibrated to the SI unit. Now, how to do that? In the country, you have got NABL accredited laboratories. They have got accreditation of calibrating the equipment. And those equipments in turn get calibrated with the NPL. And the NPL equipments are then calibrated with respect to the SI unit, which is kept at BIPM, International Bureau of Weights and Measures. Now, it so happens that when we do not do the proper calibration of the equipment, we end up getting the wrong result. Say, for example, when I went one of the schools where those they have done the Ohm's law, and as you know that Ohm's law is very simple. You have got a resistance, we apply a voltage across it and measure the current. And in principle, you should get a straight line. But one of the boy, he said that, sir, he never got the straight line. In fact, it was a non-linear curve. At any time he spoke that to his teacher, she scolded her, saying that you are stupid, you do not know what the Ohm's law is. But he said that in reality he never got a straight line. So then I explained it him that probably your current meter and voltmeters are not calibrated. If they are non-linear in function, so you may get up the non-linear curve. So what you should do, you should calibrate your current meter and voltmeter, remove the error in that, so that you get a correct straight line. So I did ask other students, how do you do? So many of them said, so it is very simple. First we draw a line and then we put up a dot on that. So that is very bad. So in school life, any time when we do experiments, the first most important criteria is what are the environmental conditions. It means the room temperature and the humidity. And one should know that whether the temperature and humidity is going to affect the readings or the experiment. So that is number one. Number two is, are your equipment calibrated? And calibration means your equipment is compared with a equipment which has got a one order better accuracy and that is certified. So that should be ensured. Now, when we do engineering products, again, many times, many youngsters, they come up with a product, and many times, particularly during this COVID-19, you might have said that, might have heard in the news that so such and such laboratory has made a ventilator. As you know that ventilator is a very, very critical equipment. Ventilator is equivalent to artificial lung. So when a patient has got a bad heart, a bad lungs because of the coronavirus, it may get damaged. So in order to pump oxygen, there is a ventilator which will give you the oxygen to your lungs. And therefore, ventilator should not be treated as ordinary equipment. It is a very, very precious equipment. Now, many scientists or entrepreneurs, they have declared that they have built a good ventilator. Now, ventilator has got many, many parameters like how much oxygen you are pumping in, what is the pressure, what is the flow rate, and if they are not calibrated properly, what may happen? This overflow of oxygen can rupture the lungs. So therefore, the COVID patient can die much earlier than he was supposed to die. So therefore, one has to be very, very cautious with the medical equipment. Those who are in a very higher education, most of the time we look for the equipment they are imported from outside. A small country like Korea or Taiwan, they manufacture their own equipment. Why India should import all those equipment? And the answer for is that though we have got the capability that we can manufacture, but most of the time we do not worry about the accurate and precise measurement. Any equipment which gives a measurement essentially is a relative measurement. So those measurements need to be harmonized, and harmonizing those measurements is possible only if all of them are made traceable to the assignment. There are many examples where we do not worry about the measurement. Say, for example, many times we hear that the products coming from China are very, very bad in quality. So the question is that if they are very bad in quality, why do we import them? Because any point of time when a good or a product comes across a national border, say when it comes from foreign company to India, they are tested for their quality. And similarly, when we send export our items to outside, they are also checked at the border. So now if this testing and calibration is not proper in the country, what may happen is that we may allow the poor quality import in our country and we will not able to export our product outside. So what is important is that the experimental conditions, the equipment, they need to be understood very, very well. The accuracy and the precision should be ensured all the time. And when we do experiment, we also end up getting the errors. And as you know that the errors are two types. One is the random error and another is the systematic error. So if your equipment is not calibrated, it becomes almost difficult to find out the error. And if errors are not eliminated, the product is not going to be high quality. And this not being aware of the accuracy and precision and errors in our measurement, we tend to do things which are of not good in practice. One of my senior colleague, he has got a diabetes and he measures that every day. But if you have got different measuring equipment, they give a different readings. And therefore, what he has done is that he has kept four equipment in his house. So he takes a blood drop and measures with the four one, and then he takes the average of four. And then he says that okay, he's relatively okay. So this is a painful process. Why we should have the four glucometer to measure one sugar level? That is basically the sugar meters are not calibrated well. Similarly, when we go to our weighing machine, we measure our weight. You go different machine, they give you different weight. So at school level and personal level, this becomes a problem anyway. But when you go to trade, say let us see when you want to sell 1 kg of gold to other one, if your equipment reads it 1 kg and other place when it goes, it can read say let us see 900 grams or 990 grams or 950 grams. There is going to be a problem. So therefore, the accurate measurements are very, very important for the trade, the fair trade. And therefore, when import and exports are done, the regulations are put into the practice. The measurements are all around. If you talk about the energy, if you talk about the environment, if you talk about the biomedical, name the place. The world cannot survive without having the accurate and precise measurement. I have given you example of temperature. The electronics industry, for the electronics people, the electronics industry is the root cause of or is responsible for the growth of the economy. But sometimes when we see the components made in India, let us simple one, a resistor or a capacitor or a inductor, they do not qualify to the standard. So by ignoring the measurement, we are not able to manufacture the equipment or the small components like capacitor, inductor, and others. Similarly, when people talk about a drone or many other equipment where the solenoid valves are used, and most of the solenoid valve, which creates a small magnetic field to make a movement of objects, most of the solenoid valves are even imported. Now, if we try to manufacture solenoid valve in our country, if we do not pay attention to the measurement accuracy, the current, the coil dimension, the insulation outside it for heating effects and other things, the coils will give you altogether different properties. So in nutshell, what I am trying to say is that the measurements are key to ensure that all your development goes as per your specifications if and only if we worry about the Number one, accurate and precise measurements, which are traceable to the SI unit. And number two, the environmental condition, which can lead to the effect of error, the systematic and the random error. If we take care of these kind of things, I am sure that India can produce anything in this country. So let me give you another example. There are many contactless thermometers. They are coming in the market. You might have seen that everywhere the police fellow and the doctors, they first measure the non-contact temperature. This sensor is imported and we do not know how to qualify that. So therefore, when the temperature sensors properties are not measured properly, we are not sure that what kind of temperature we are measuring. Similarly, nowadays we are talking about the sanitizer where the UV lights are used to kill the pathogens or to kill the viruses. And UVC 254 nanometer in the ultraviolet C range is normally used to kill these viruses. Now it has been found out that the critical dose required to kill these viruses is not established. So the science and the technology becomes easier only if we have got the correct measurements done. So once we understand the process and we have the correct measurements available with us, the development of the devices and the products becomes much easier. Now, if you look the world, these SI units on May 2019 have been revised. SI units are now defined in terms of the fundamental constants. Length, that is a meter, 1 meter is defined in terms of the speed of light. The kilogram is defined in terms of the Planck's constant. The ampere is defined in terms of the Coulomb charge. Mole, Avogadro number. Kelvin in terms of the Boltzmann constant. And candela in terms of the quantum efficacy. So all the SI units are now defined in terms of the nature's constant or fundamental constant. It means the measurement accuracy has gone deep down. So many times people ask that what is the use of these high accurate measurements to our daily life? I have already given many examples, but let me give you one more last example. Say when we make a simple paracetamol or a medicine, the amount of drug in the matrix is very small. Let us say 10 micrograms. Now, if the measurements are not accurate, the 10 microgram, if suppose it becomes 20 micrograms, what will happen? It will give you an overdose. And when there is an overdose, we get a reaction. And you might have often seen that many times when people take a particular medicine, they get allergic. So one of the things is that is really allergic to the medicine. The other reason could be that there is an overdose of the molecules, drug molecules. On the other hand, if 10 micrograms remains, let us say 5 micrograms, if there is error of 5 micrograms, so it remains underdose. And when we take a medicine, it may not affect us at all. So in pharmaceutical industry, the mass measurement becomes very important. And therefore, majority of the pharmaceutical industry in India, they take these measurements, the traceability of these measurements from the National Physical Laboratory. Say, for example, when you are making an automobile car, when you have two different parts. So most of the time it becomes impossible that all the parts of a car are made by a single company. Different parts are made by different companies. Now, if the components do not match, you will not able to make a full car. So therefore, the measurement of dimension and hardness of the different companies, those who are making a different part, they should have the same measurement. And that can be only ensured if all of them have got a common point, that is the SI point. So measurement, I can keep on giving you a number of examples where we really feel, we really worry about in this country that we are somehow not as waken up as we should be for the measurement. I will give this last example and then we'll go for the discussion. In last rainy season, there was one grandfather in Mumbai whose daughter took ill. She had a high fever, and when he measured using his thermometer at home, it showed somewhere 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So he became panicked, and then he went outside, and in front of there was a store. He got another thermometer, but that read only 102. So he just called me up. He said that why all the thermometers would not use the same value. And there is a problem because the two companies who manufacture these two different thermometers, they are not traceable to the SI unit. So in India, as I said earlier, National Physical Laboratory is the National Measurement Institute of the country. We have got all primary standards which are derived from the International Bureau of Weights and Measures. From National Physical Laboratory, the responsibility of legal metrology, which comes under the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, they propagate the measurement of NPL to the industry at different laboratories across the country. And in addition to that, we have got the NABL, National Accredited Board of Testing and Calibration Laboratories. They are roughly 5,600 in number across the country for various parameters. They will ensure you that your measurements are correct. So it is a good idea if you are at higher education or even at the primary school, that ask your teacher or ask your colleagues, how do you know that if you are getting one board, it is one board? And if it is one board, what is the level of uncertainty? So if you take care of these kind of things, I think we can make good science, we can make good technology, we can make good products which can be exported. So this year, the World Meteorology Day, the theme is measurement for global trade. And the whole idea of the International Bureau of Weights and Measures is to ensure that these measurements are uniform across the globe. Each citizen of the world, they understand measurement, they work as per the measurement, so that we do not have any problem. So with this, I think I will stop here and I will take your questions. So if there are questions, I can take up these questions. I think there were some questions. No? No. Call the question. Okay. Why Indian farmers harvest is wasted? The answer is simple. The Harvest is wasted because of the two reasons. One is the supply chain is not there, and number two, the storage is not there. So if there is a supply chain, immediately his material will be transported from one point to other point. But more than that, I think that there should be a good storage issues. And storage, as you know, that there are many ways of storing the harvest. One of them is the cold storage, where you keep the low temperature, low humidity, so that the food grain do not degrade. The other one can be thought of having the vacuum, where you suck up all the oxygen and microbes so that they don't spoil the food grain. And the third can be irradiation by very high electromagnetic rays like gamma rays, and that should be accessible to the farmers. So these technologies need to be developed, and this is the responsibility of the scientific community, and of course the youngsters. They have to look. Questions anybody can ask that why this is happening, but what we need more people, those who can answer or solve those issues. The frequency of the calibration depends upon the nature of the equipment. If deviation is very fast, then the frequency is higher. But if the stability of the measurement is good, then the calibration frequency can be at a longer period. But it all depends upon the individual equipment. But when the calibration is done, they normally give you the next date of calibration, depending upon the performance of the equipment. So there is not a single point answer to it.
How to check the quality project by common man?
How to check quality product by common man is difficult to answer, because most of the time we go for the external appearance, and common man also worries about the low quality, low price products. So when you go for the external appearance and the low price one, obviously we are not going to get the high quality product. The quality assurance always costs, and therefore whenever there is a testing and calibration done on equipment, their price will be always higher, but that will ensure that the products which we are buying are high quality.
What is the scope of budding entrepreneur in the field of meteorology after COVID-19?
You see, meteorology before COVID-19 or after COVID-19 does not make a difference. Meteorology is always there. If you see the entire world which has grown now, the technology which has built up till today, the meteorology is the fundamental ingredient to it. Obviously, the COVID-19 situation will give a boost to the entrepreneurs, a boost to the meteorologists, as the government of India is looking for the Atmanirbhar Bharat. It means that most of the products should be built in the country. The many manufacturers or many entrepreneurs, many startups, they will come for making their product. Now, when they are making the product, they need to ensure that, as I mentioned in my presentation also, that the measurement should be very, very correct. And therefore, the meteorologist will play very, very key role. In fact, it has been demonstrated that it is the meteorologist, they also find the new path for the new research.
How to check and get confirmation that the project on purchasing in a good quality
Product. Yeah. So this product checking is not easy. The product qualification is already always done by the certifying authority. India, we have got a little problem in a sense that For household item, we have got the ISIA mark. So when you buy a household item and it has got a ISIA mark, you can become pretty sure that the product quality is high. But when we are going for the sophisticated equipment, which are not the household items and for which the SIA is not certified, India as of now does not have a certification mechanism. So that probably will be evolved in due course of time in the country.
What effect occur on lab measuring devices after use?
What?
What effect occur on lab measuring devices after use?
Yeah, wear and tears are the normal one. You have got high humidity, you have got a high temperature. In laboratory, when you are dealing with the acids, the fumes they will come and they will make some corrosion or some deposits on it, and therefore the equipment can get corroded and it can have a effect on it.
Are UV rays have health hazards for food items?
Yes, UV rays in general have got the hazards. As you know that the UV rays modifies the or breaks the RNA and DNA, and therefore there can be a possibility of mutation, and those mutation can give you the hazardous effect. But therefore, the food irradiation first one should not do directly, and if has to be done, then it has to be done under a covered
How to
pattern.
check framing and scaling of particular instruments?
What is that?
How to check framing and scaling of particular instruments?
Framing and scaling of particular. I didn't get the exact meaning of this question, but scaling, if you are talking about the manufacturing point of view, then in that case, you should have the large manufacturing facility available for that.
ISO standards, ISI marks are really to be used.
Yes, in most of the cases you can believe because the ISI marks are certified by the BIS laboratory, and BIS laboratories they do the test for their conformity. Say for example, when you have got the gas cylinder at your home, that is a ISI marked gas cylinder, and the home gas cylinders are very robust in India. So that is one classic example. The pressure cooker, for example, which are ISI marked, one should believe them. And in other words, there is no reason why you should not believe them.
What are the steps to be taken to increase pure organic products and to save organic farmers?
You have already answered your question. Ensure that everybody consumes them. But when everybody consumes them, the sale will increase and the farmer's interest will be. But for that, the price has to be competitive. And to become a competitive price, you should have a good packaging. Because if you produce a huge amount of organic substance and if you do not have the market nearby, it becomes expensive. If it becomes expensive, most of the people they have a tendency to buy the low price item. So the success depends upon the pricing.
What are the various ways to calibrate?
The calibration, essentially one has to go to the NABL accredited calibration laboratories, or there are the regional reference laboratories of Government of India legal metrology. So you can go there and calibrate your equipment. But there are other methods where you can use the certified reference material, or NPL has produced Bharatiya Nirdesak Dravya, that is the trademark of NPL for the CRMs. And once you have got a CRM, one can use them for the calibrating your equipment.
What is the number of days to test the COVID accuracy?
The PCR is used for measurement of the COVID test, and roughly it takes 48 to 72 hours.
How can improve accuracy without increasing cost?
The model for that is that if everybody start looking for the accuracy, so those who are in the business of calibration, they will have a large number of customers, and therefore he can reduce the price. But since there are very few people, they go for the accuracy measurement, so they have got limited customers, and therefore the cost is high. But anyway, the quality assurance will always be costly, but then it will end up giving you a good high quality product.
How to bring calibration in our day-to-day life, and what role academic institutions should play?
You see, all the academic institutions, as of now, I understand that the calibration is not really taken seriously. So, big universities, they should have a calibration laboratory, and those calibrated equipment should get calibrated with any of the NABL accredited laboratory. So, it has to be done. There is no other way other than that.
Whether PCR gives accurate level of COVID, or else it's only a limited level of identification of COVID.
I think it is a very successful method, and this is also they also call it a gold standard, and it gives the correct result.
What standard applies for medical devices?
Medical devices have got a huge number of ranges. It comes from clinical thermometer to MRI to X-rays to So there are large number of standards. They need to they are applied. The measurement size, all the medical device eventually will end up getting the sum of the measurements, like magnetic field measurement, length measurement, pressure measurement, flow measurement. So medical devices is nothing but a cumulative effect of various physical parameters. So if all of them are calibrated, the medical device is going to be good.
What are the steps to be taken for biosensors or biomedical devices?
Again, the calibration is the way each of the parameters which is being measured in the these ones, they should be calibrated either directly to SI units or through the certified reference materials or Bharati Nirdesh Dravya.
What are the factors and general guidelines to be considered to check the calibration of any equipment in a manufacturing building?
You see, for that there is a guideline ISO 17025:2017. So under that, the quality management system is given how to check and how to test them. But for a particular parameter, one has to ensure that the equipment is genuinely calibrated with respect to a higher standard, which has got accuracy at least 1 order less.
What is general course of calibration?
Again, it depends upon the parameter. If you are looking for a temperature, and it also depends upon the uncertainty you are looking at it. Suppose I want to measure 100 degree Fahrenheit with the uncertainty of 1 Fahrenheit. It may be very easy. But if you are looking 100 degree Fahrenheit with an accuracy of 0.0001 Fahrenheit, it is going to be very, very expensive. So it depends upon the range of calibration or the uncertainty calibration one is looking at it.
What are various quality factors considered to improve quality of product?
There are many factors. So first is the performance of the equipment. Say suppose if it is meant for the blood pressure of a human body, so first it should measure the blood pressure as quickly as possible. Then ease of operation. Then its look, and of course the price. So all these factors make the product good or bad.
Do you think that Indian government is thinking about to make domestic equipment and avoid importing equipment from other countries?
Of course, the finance minister has given the call. The honorable prime minister has already asked for the Atmanirbhar Bharat, and these calls are essentially made to develop the products that are made in India.
How do we know which thermometer uses three particles.
So for that, one should have a known source of temperature. And once you know the known source of temperature, use this thermometer, measure it again and again and again. You get many values and check whether they are within the domain or not. Many times when you have got the equipment, you measure again and again, you get different values. It means the precision is very bad. If all the values are coming close to one value, it means your thermometer is precise. But for that, you should have a source whose temperature is well established.
On COVID-19, when we purchase the medical device, that what factors we have to focus, especially for testing.
You see, as of now, the COVID-19 tests are only done by either by ICMR laboratories, ICMR approved laboratories, or by the NABL accredited laboratories. And it requires a biosafety lab to test that. Otherwise, the coronavirus will spread and it will not be good for the human kind. And therefore, the first thing is that the safety, biosafety is the first method. And there are set protocols for measurement of the coronavirus using the RT-PCR. Okay, I think there is one. What is that? 80, 120 is the measure of BP. No, it's not same for everybody. It depends upon the age factor also. If you go to the WHO guidelines for blood pressure, once you become high age, so this also increases. So it is not 80, 120. It is sometimes becomes 90, 130, and even slightly higher for the higher age, which is the normal. So there are set WHO guidelines.
Can self-calibration be possible for hydraulic machines available in
Self-calibration is required when you are doing the very frequent calibration, but eventually it has to be calibrated with respect to the external equipment, or with equipment which has got a one order better accuracy.
what can be the role of artificial intelligence and machine learning in measurement?
Yeah, it is going to be playing a big role because the collection of data becomes easier, the analysis of the data becomes easier. So they will definitely play a big role, particularly when you have got a large number of measurements to be done.
Is there any medical device for protection from COVID-19?
Medical device in terms of protecting is only, you see, the coronavirus is nothing but a particle, and the particles normally you don't call they are alive. So they have got a RNA inside it, and then a protein lipid layer, and then there is a those crowns which are coming out and they anchor in your body. So the protection is only to not allow them to come to your body, and for that the best device is the your mask. Use your mask so that they do not come to your body, and the hand washing if they stick to your hand. Use the soap or detergent solution for washing your hands, and the practices are already given to you many times. I'm sure that by now everybody's understood how to prevent yourself from the corona.
Who can help in deciding which dose for airborne coronavirus inactivation?
You see, there are many literature, and you can find out the minimum dose of UVC that is required to kill the, not to kill, to deactivate the virus of 90%, 99%, 99.9%, and 99.99%. So those are well established in the literature. So there is a forum called International Society for Ultraviolet Radiation, and you'll find all those drills in those places.
Can we self-calibration that? What are the people who should have during calibration?
You see, again, calibration, when we talk about, it has to be calibrated with respect to a equipment which has got at least an order of better accuracy than your equipment. Mostly self-calibration is done to ensure that the equipment does not drift in the short period of time.
Air permeability measurement for effective PTO mask. Where is the testing one done?
There are many places. National Physical Laboratory has got one to filter the zero point 0.3 micron particles. Then we have got Citra in Coimbatore, and then we have got the DRDO labs, ordnance factories. They can do this kind of tests.
AI can be used for calibration.
AI can be used calibration because ultimately, yes, you can use a component of that can be used, but AI is a very vague and general word. Okay, so but yes, one can use the AI for calibrating the equipment.
Where India stands in research capability to identify such virus.
Of course, now India has got all the capabilities to find out the viruses. The IGIB, they have already found its genome sequence. The National Institute of Virology at Pune, they have taken the image of single coronavirus, which is also shown in the television. We have got 146 private laboratories. They can test the coronavirus. We have got hundreds of government ICMR laboratories. They can test the coronavirus. So we are well equipped for that.
Does closed reflux POD analysis is acceptable in India?
Closed?
Reflux POD analysis.
I'm not sure for that, so I will not be able to answer this question. Okay, so thank you very much. I hope we had a good session, and the bottom line of the this meeting was to make you aware of the World Meteorology Day. And World Meteorology Day, as I said earlier, that it began on 20th May 1875 in France to ensure that all the measurements are same, and the logo and the motive of the BIPM was for all the time, for all the people. So measurements are essentially for the benefit of each of us. Thank you very much.